This is Daria Shabbat with Corporate Profile reporting on the news for Wednesday, March 27th, 2013. Today in the news, a TSA agent at JFK sprays his fellow colleagues with pepper spray by accident. Putin's fight against democracy continues, and Pope Francis decides not to live in luxury fitting for a king. So we all have experienced the annoyingly long security lines at JFK Airport, and yet we all know it is for the greater good, our own safety, and so we willingly wait to then take off half of our clothing so that we can feel safe once on board. We all put our trust in the TSA to be as professional as they can be, but lo and behold, a bumbling TSA agent playing around with a pepper spray container at Kennedy Airport fired the burning liquid at 5 fellow screeners yesterday, sending all 6 to the hospital. So apparently the agent, Yves Dabel, discovered the device at the Terminal 2 security checkpoint and tried to determine if it was real. He told cops that he found the canister on the floor and thought it was a laser pointer. What? So basically, instead of looking out for our security, these morons decided to play around with a real taser unknowingly, which is kind of scary, and then send themselves to the hospital. This incident stopped security checks at the airport for at least 15 minutes, according to the police, but I am sure it was way more than that. So next time you're in line for a very long time, it might just be that TSA agents are too busy messing around instead of looking out for your security. Senior EU officials have voiced concern as checks by Russian tax inspectors on foreign-funded non-governmental organizations keep growing. This week, searches took place at the Moscow offices of Human Rights Watch and Transparency International. 2 German political NGOs, the Konrad Adenauer Foundation in St. Petersburg and the Friedrich Ebert Foundation in Moscow, were searched earlier. The Friedrich Ebert Foundation's computers were seized. A Russian law passed in July obliges foreign-funded NGOs involved in political activity to register as foreign agents. Failure to comply is punishable by heavy fines and even a 2-year prison sentence. In Russia, the term foreign agent has a bit of a negative connotation attached to it. The Kremlin says the controversial law is needed to protect Russia from outside attempts to influence internal politics, aka promote democracy. But critics argue it is a mechanism to crush dissent after the mass protests against the ruling United Russia Party earlier last year. When Putin says war, he means it, and German Chancellor Angela Merkel is not a happy bunny right now. Pope Francis has decided to shun a grand papal apartment on the top floor of the Vatican's Apostolic Palace in favor of a modest 2-room residence. His spokesman said he was trying out this type of simple living in a communal building with other priests. In doing so, he has broken a tradition which is more than a century old. The decision reinforces the newly elected Pope's austere reputation. As Archbishop of Buenos Aires, he refused to move into the bishop's palace. Preferring more modest accommodation, he also often cooked his own meals. It's always nice to see some modesty within the church as opposed to the usual opulence we frequently see. I'm Daria Shabbat with Corporate Profile. Make sure to visit our website at corporateprofile.com for more top stories from around the world, as well as interesting business profiles. Post your comments, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter.